So here's a timeline of what we plan to accomplish in the first 3 years of our business. In 2010, we'll start development on our website. We will also ask our angel investors for an investment of $200,000. In 2011, we anticipate 1,000 customers to have used our comparison tool. We will also become a preferred provider for the state of Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Colorado. In 2012, we anticipate 1 million customers to have used our comparison tool. We will become the preferred provider for the federal government. We will also pay back $1 million to our investors on the initial investment of $200,000. Finally, we will license our algorithm to the federal government, which is also part of our exit strategy. Next, we have a list of estimated startup costs. On top, we have website consultancy and development at $40,000, followed by legal fees at $20,000. Our total startup cost is $69,500. The initial investment will pay for the startup cost as well as the operating and marketing cost until we break even. The $40,000 estimate for the website development and algorithm development, we received a quote from Mr. Debashish Ghosh, who is an IT consultant at Conagra Foods, and he has worked over 200 websites with different complexities. So we think he'll be a good source to develop our website. As Andrew mentioned earlier, our cash inflows are generated primarily through commissions from insurance companies. Here we have two graphs, two cumulative cash flow graphs. We have two because they are on different scales. The first is from Q1 2010 to Q2 2011. And as you can see, we will break even in Q2 of 2011. To be precise, we will break even in June of 2011. The second graph you can goes from Q3 2011 to Q4 2012. And as you can see, our cash inflows continue to rise while our cash outflows are more stable. In Q1 2012 and Q2 2012, you'll see a slight increase in cash outflows, and that's primarily because that's when we are paying back our investors. So today we are asking for an investment of $200,000, and we plan to pay back $1 million by end of April 2012.
So now that you've heard some general aspects about RxQuote.com, I'm going to go over some of the barriers that we anticipate. As mentioned earlier, we're going to start within the state of Nebraska and focus more on small businesses and the under 65 population. Some of the barriers that we anticipate are as follows: a reluctancy to switch plans from a current insurance provider. Also, they're maybe not as likely, but a reluctancy to put their information online for fear of pirating or whatever. And then also the employers, they may not even want insurance through the company for any particular reason. So how are we going to overcome these barriers? The main thing that RxQuote.com is going to bank themselves on is increased savings. So we're going to say that we will give them the best prices no matter what. Also, we'll be utilizing paper applications, so for people who don't want to use our online format, and then we'll put the information into our database at a later time. And then finally, we're going to explain the benefits of having prescription insurance. In today's trends, we see that there could possibly be regulations on having insurance in the first place, so to tell them that this is an important thing for them to have. 84% of Nebraskans are currently in a working family, but 20% of them have turned down insurance. Now this is due, as we mentioned earlier, to the high costs that small businesses incur when dealing with larger companies. And it's kind of ironic because this morning I was reading the newspaper and there was an article on the front page that was talking about how Nebraska has shown the biggest rise in the United States for employer health costs. So it just shows that there is a need for a lowering of cost. Also, we also see a trend in self-employment and self-insurance within the state of Nebraska. How are we going to overcome these barriers? Well, also we see four out of five people who live in Nebraska that don't have insurance are below the poverty line. And the problem we see with this is the fact that they may not have access to internet within their home, which would be detrimental to our online format. And then we may not be able to produce enough savings. They may not even have enough money to pay for insurance, which is probably why they don't have it in the first place. So what are we going to do to overcome these barriers? Another essential part that we're going to do is create company liaisons who are going to work with these individuals and small businesses and modifying our services to these individuals. We're also going to have paper applications, as I mentioned, and people who will be IT support for individuals and businesses that don't know how to use but wouldn't know how to use our format. And then also the other thing that we're really going to pride ourselves on is offering the supplemental tools that Peter mentioned earlier, such as the pill identifier, the health insurance, or the insurance breakdowns and things such as that. So it'll really just be a one-stop shop for all prescription drug information. Increased savings, like I said, we're going to bank ourselves on giving them the best prices. And then also we're going to utilize free and low-cost media to get our name out there. And if you guys would like to stop by our booth later, we created a commercial for you guys to take a look at. So.
As Peach mentioned earlier, we plan on becoming a preferred provider for the federal government in 2012. This is part of our exit strategy in that we're going to license our algorithm for comparing prescription insurance plans for the under 65 population to the federal government. And we hope that in doing so that we will be able to utilize the government's resources in order to expand the services that we provide, such as utilizing the Medicare Part D population to do insurance plan comparison as well, and do electronic prescribing and interface that with our comparison tools such that a physician will know how much a prescription that he is writing is going to cost the patient during the time that he's writing it. Additionally, we want to utilize electronic medical records and other types of healthcare insurance comparison tools such as vision insurance comparison and dental insurance comparison. So the real question you have to ask yourself at the end of the day is, do you want to invest in the future of healthcare in America? Thank you.